Now, Barry, remind everybody again, you are the most dominant tweeter of all time?
The best looking Twitter. Oh, no, that's not it. I'm the most dominant Twitter. I was awarded Phoenix's best political Twitter.
Okay, so you had one that blew up last week about Kari Lake.
Over the weekend, even I did one over the weekend. Had over 171,000 views. I'm huge, big money for that, Chad. Not even a penny. Nothing.
Not even that was so funny.
I'm not bitter.
I got 171,000 views. You know how much money for that? Nothing. But let's talk about, because so much of it is about the insanity with Kari Lake and what went on. We all know that there's some stuff that went on that was a little crazy. Let's talk first and foremost about that. How did it go at the exciting AZ GOP super get-together fun time that they had this weekend?
They had their annual meeting, and Kari Lake was booed raucously. I mean, it was shocking. And at first I thought, well, this is maybe just a bad time. No, it was. There were multiple different video recordings and audio recordings from inside that were on Twitter that different Republicans and everybody in the room, they didn't have the media in the room. It's just Republican precinct committee men and other stuff like that. And they're putting these videos out. And when Kari Lake tried to talk, they were booing her, and she had to stop talking a couple times and wait, and they were not pleased with her. And
now she'll say they never booed. It was like, like when you go to a football game and it's like, the moose catches the ball. It's not a boo, it's a moose.
Right.
And it was a Kari.
Yeah, she's already, her people are already coming out and saying they were booing because she was talking about election integrity, so they were booing the people who were stealing the election. That's not what happened. It was obviously booing Kari. And the reason is because she put out that recording of Jeff DeWitt, who was the chair of the Republican Party here in Arizona until a few days ago, when Kari Lake forced him to resign. So she released this recording that she had for 10 months. She held this secret recording of Jeff DeWitt talking to her and as carefully as he could, trying to say, there are people back east who would prefer you not run. Can we talk about getting you some money or getting you a job or on a board or something like that to give you some money? What would it take to do that?
What do you think they would have paid her?
I think they probably would have given her a couple $3 million.
Oh,
at least to keep her out of.
What will it cost? What are you guys going to pay Barry and I not to run for something? All right,
I would
I'll
love
do that all year.
That's true. It'd be every quarter.
So, and it wasn't look. It didn't sound good.
Let's be
real. Good. It's not a good look. It's deep state. No, it's politics, which is, by the way, for those of you not keeping score, and I know there's populists out there. And look, I am a huge fan. The fact that she would turn something down like that, I'm good. I got no problem with that. She, they came after her. They didn't want her to run for whatever reason. I don't think they should do that. I think the beauty of our country is you're allowed to run.
But let's be clear, they do it all the time.
And they do it all the time.
I told the story of somebody, I know this personally, of an election here in Arizona where it's a nonpartisan. So you're not saying you're a Republican or a Democrat. There was just a whole slate of people running, 3 MAGA, and they didn't want more than 2 because they thought they'd split the vote too much. And they went to one of the 3 and said, you need to step out. You need to drop out of the race. And she's like, I don't want to drop out of the race. And they said, if you don't drop out of the race, we're coming after you. We're going to go negative. We're going to start publishing things you don't want us to publish. We're going to say, and they forced her to get out of the race because that's how they clear the field. That's what they do. And you may not like that, but that's what political parties do. And in this case, they were being very gentle with Kari Lake and offering her what could have been millions of dollars. And she knew she was recording it. And if you listen to the recording, it's the worst acting in the world, and it's awful. But the Republicans in Arizona,
leaning in. I didn't hear what you said.
They're so corrupt. They want to kill me. All these things. It was just crazy. So in any case, they're booing her. And what's happening now? I think she had somebody else already in mind. The evidence is coming out that somebody had asked Jim O'Connor, who's an Arizona on the Corporation Commission and a kind of an anti-election guy, and they wanted him to be the chair of the party. And the only person who would ask that would be Kari Lake, because she knew she was going to release this recording of Jeff DeWitt, and we were going to need a new chair. And Kari wanted somebody in her pocket. She wanted a puppet that would run the party.
And so they told O'Connor, "You can't do it."
No, O'Connor. So O'Connor on January 8th, O'Connor asked an attorney who works for the Arizona Corporation Commission, I'm being asked to head the Republican Party in Arizona.
Before any of this stuff ever happened.
Correct. Weeks ago. Can I do that legally? Can I do both? And he was told yes by the lawyer there. I don't know whether that's the right answer, but that's what he was told. And then the thing with Jeff DeWitt comes out, it gets public, and then the next thing that happens is former President Trump, calls Gina Swoboda and says, I want you to run. Because he didn't want Jim O'Connor to do it. He didn't want Kari Lake to be in charge of who's running the party in Arizona. And Trump said it's going to be Swoboda, and he endorsed her. And as soon as he did that, Kari Lake saw the writing on the wall and said, I got to get in line behind Trump. I can't compete with him. and she dropped her original plan.
Poor Jim, man. Jim didn't even know. He woke up January 8th. Life was good. Next thing you know, he's getting all excited. Then he gets let down.
Threw him under the bus, and he lost the election. He was still running because he thought Kari Lake was going to be behind him. It was a mess, and she threw him under the bus. And she got booed at that meeting on Saturday. It was unbelievable. And
did everybody know what took place? Like that O'Connor got the call and all that stuff? This is why Barry's the number one tweet. I'm reading some. It's 171,000. Never made a penny off it. It's 173,000.
It's been in the news about what Jim O'Connor did at the Corporation Commission. There's emails to it, so I mean that's definitely been proven. That's a fact. I don't know for sure that Kari Lake directed him to do that or asked him to do that or her people did. But who else would ask? Who else would expect that Jeff? Yeah, well, who else would expect Jeff DeWitt's going to be resigning here before the convention, right? Yeah. I mean, who's going to know that? So Kari Lake knew that stuff was going to be released. She knew, and then it's more than that because DeWitt was going to still fight for his job, and then Kari Lake, according to DeWitt, Kari Lake came out and said, "I've got more recordings, and you don't want me to play them." And I don't know what's in there, if it's going to be DeWitt talking about Trump. DeWitt and Trump are close. Trump likes Jeff DeWitt.
Or is it, I said this too. Maybe it's something personal. It has nothing to do with politics.
Absolutely.
That, could be untoward. And, he's married or he said something,
He thought he was friends with Kari Lake. But they were having private conversations. And now Kari Lake just released her financial disclosure just a moment ago. And she's reported that this job, I'm calling it a no-show job, like on The Sopranos, when these mobsters.
It's like being an old-school football player. Yeah. It's like, all right, here's the deal. You got to come turn the sprinklers on. You're like, but don't you have timers?
The mobsters would show up and sit in folding chairs outside, not do any work, and get paid like they were working. Yeah. Kari Lake was getting $102,000 at Jeff DeWitt's company as an quote-unquote advisor. She wasn't. I mean, seriously. Nobody can tell me. She's not saying what her job was. She's not saying what she did. She didn't do anything. It was a no-show job by all accounts. And she got $102,000 for doing that. Jeff DeWitt gave her that job. This is the thanks that he gets for that.
Jeff,
it's pretty crazy.
I got some free time before my show. Just letting you guys know.
Pretty crazy. She also got a $100,000 book advance. That book did not sell. You think she had to give back the advance?
Is it already out?
Oh, yeah. It's out.
There you go.
No, it did not sell.
Every day I learn something new about Kari Lake, and that's why we bring Barry in, who's the greatest Twitter follow of Arizona politics in the world.
You want to know the rest of it? She got $75,000 in income last year from speeches. You know what speeches she's given? She goes to these conservative MAGA conferences, and apparently she's charging them for the speeches. So she made
like setting up your own rally and then showing up and go, you guys are paying me, right? Like, this is your house.
I mean, it's incredible. That's personal income, not into her campaign. This is her income. Wow. So according to this, she made, at least just from these three things, $277,000 last year not working.
Yeah. What did Hobbs get paid last year?
What does the governor make? I don't even know.
Like $150,000 or whatever?
Is it even that much? I don't know.
I don't know.
Legislators make $24,000.
I'm letting you know, Kari, what you're doing, you're making more money. That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to discuss any of the other stuff.
Man.
Life is pretty good.
Thanks for watching Gatos and Chad. Click to watch more and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.